Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
6, and you tuned in to another Prison Talk. I had a viewer email me about the daytime robbery in Beverly Hills. Yeah, Beverly Hills, man. Beverly Hills used to be one of the safest cities in the world. It was right up there with Monaco when you talked about wealth and influence and money, shopping, but even Beverly Hills isn't safe.
Robbery on Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills. You can see one person grab a man's Rolex while it appears another man pointed a gun at the owner of the watch.
I just can't believe it.
Minutes later, Beverly Hills PD said they arrested 4 teenagers and a 23-year-old following a brief pursuit that ended in Hollywood.
But stealing is wrong.
Deep Satay owns Bombay Palace. The robbery happened outside his restaurant. He said he's owned the restaurant for 40 years, but he thinks criminals have become emboldened because laws are too lenient.
It does not surprise me at all. This has become the new normal, and it's a pity that this beautiful, great state of California, especially Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, has been ruined, and the politicians seem to be thinking it's a new normal. Across the street, we own the other business, which is we've made it into a membership only because we don't want people to come in.
Descended into the abyss of crime, unsafe, and criminal elements. Yeah, Beverly Hills. If you go through Beverly Hills right now, you'll probably see upwards of 8 to maybe 12, 13 vacancies with spaces for lease. And if you go back prior to COVID, every place in Beverly Hills had a tenant. It was all full. But now a lot of shops have left. And one of the biggest reasons is a lot of people just don't feel safe shopping there. And when you talk about money and, spending money, I mean, yeah, you'll see some celebrities down there shopping on social media, but they got probably 4 or 5 bodyguards, security around them. Not the average person. I mean, the person who would normally go to shop who doesn't have armed guards with them all the time. So people just don't feel safe, man. And California's just policy on crime and what people have gotten comfortable getting away with, it has just spilled over into communities where you wouldn't normally see this. And, people could say, well, it's a result of, economics and lack of jobs, unemployment. Yeah, I would say those things have always existed, maybe not at this extent, but they've also created almost a psychology where if you commit crimes of a certain nature, you're not going to get any repercussions. There's going to be no consequences. You don't have to worry about, staying in jail because you're going to get bail and then you could just take off. So you have crews of people coming from other cities, other countries, looking at a lot of these cities, especially in California, as open season. There's been a very big increase in home invasions, daytime robberies. And, this guy, he was waiting for a tow truck on Wilshire with his Cobra. And while he was waiting, some guys pulled up, jumped out the car, and wanted to jack him for his Rolex. So, I don't know how they seen that he had a Rolex on, standing on the side waiting for his car, but probably assumed by the car he had some money, and proceeded to rob this guy. Well, what happened was they said what is it called, a patrol, as far as security patrol, was driving by, and they alerted local police. The police were able to, I guess, apprehend these individuals, and they were all charged with robbery. And they said that, I think there was 1 or 2 adults and the other ones were juveniles, but they were from Oakland. Now, Oakland, if you're not familiar with the state of Oakland right now, Oakland looks like a shanty town in South Africa. Oakland has this, it basically descended below the abyss, along with San Francisco, with crime and drugs usage and everything else. So, you know, you got guys now coming from Northern California to Southern California to pillage. And, you know, I'm not here to try to tell these guys what they should or shouldn't do. You know, look, man, I've been involved in some things I'm not proud to admit, but I did time for. And I look at the criminal situation now, and as a person who's learned my lesson, paid my debt to society, and trying to save some lives out here so these people don't continue to cycle, I'm sharing this video and trying to lace some of you guys up. And, you know, you can be like, well, man, we got to get our money. Look, how much money you think you're going to get off of a Rolex, man, that's registered and it's basically can be tracked? I mean, is it enough? And then you're only going to make enough for the next robbery. So the smart thing to do would be to try to find somebody who's got the guts. If you guys got the guts to go and rob people, why not find somebody who has a decent credit, get a loan, figure out how you can create a business. And yeah, you might not be able to get a Rolex the first couple months or the first year, but at least you can create something long term. Because look, you know, you get away a few times, you get caught one time, you're gonna do the equivalent of buying probably 1,000 of those Rolexes in prison for the amount of years you're gonna do, and then you're gonna be working for slave labor wages. So how does that work out? And you're gonna be dealing with politics. You're gonna have somebody telling you what to do you never met. You're gonna have somebody telling you when to take a shit, somebody telling you when to look in your booty hole, somebody telling you when to stand up for count, when to go eat. I mean, is that trade-off really worth it? Because once you start reading the law books and seeing how they split your wig because you know nothing about the law, you're gonna be like, damn, I should have found me a different hustle before I got caught up in the system. Because you're gonna be crying up in there about the time, and then this is time you can't get back. And that's your most valuable commodity. You know, a lot of people glorify all this shit, you know, and it could be bragging about, oh yeah, I was doing licks. Look, I was doing licks, but I'm not bragging about it. I'm not trying to tell you to follow my footsteps or to emulate the things I've done to try to get any type of credit. I'm telling you that I did some stupid ass shit, and I had to learn my lessons the hard way. And luckily now I can reflect back and lace you up on real game because I've been there, done that. And I'm telling you, you will get caught, because you don't even have to get caught in the act. Somebody will tell on you. Dude, somebody, a homie or somebody, some female you piss off will get in the situation and they will drop a dime on you and you will go down. So the streets is garbage. Nobody has any loyalty, and because most of these people don't know anything about being in a room with the door shut, AC blowing, hungry, scared. These guys are professional, basically interrogators, and they're gonna crack. Your homie's gonna crack. Your female's gonna crack, and you're gonna go to jail and then prison. So I'm trying to lace you up, man, give you a better opportunity to do something else, because the Rolex, bro, you can get those. Those ain't nothing. Richard Mille, eventually, if you put yourself in a position, you can have all of that, and you're not gonna want nobody robbing you for it. So you rob somebody, then somebody robs you, and you get mad because you got robbed, but you robbed somebody else. So how is that even, you know, it doesn't even make sense. So yeah, man, I'm just lacing you up. You know, watch yourself in California. If you're out and about, you know, you're in public places, you got spotters, you got people looking for certain things, you got the follow home bandits, guys who follow people home. They watch you at the ATM. They watch you when maybe these guys are just hanging out in luxury shopping areas, looking to see who's shopping where, running your plates, putting Apple tags on your car to follow you home. Be careful, man. Watch out, man. There's a lot of criminal elements in California in a lot of these cities because the lax on crime, no prosecution, has gotten people feeling comfortable. If you get caught with a gun, you get out, you're not tripping. And that's how these people are looking at it. So be careful out there. Beverly Hills, I used to love going out there to the Father's Day car show, hanging out with my wife, grabbing something to eat, checking out the cool cars. And LA has turned into GTA, man. Literally GTA. And Frisco and Oakland is beyond GTA. Out there, look, man, I had a friend and his friend went out there for business, and within an hour of them getting off the plane and arriving in downtown Oakland, they were robbed of their watch and their phones. Called the police. Police said there's nothing they can do. That's what's going on in California. For those who think California, you're moving out there, you're all, look, man, don't be game goofy. I don't care where you're moving to. Don't be game goofy. People out there are hungry. It's turned into a savage dog-eat-dog environment. So just watch yourself. Subscribe, share the channel, leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you're trying to get laced up, hit us up at freshoutseries@gmail.com or freshoutseries.com. Pick you up some merch, represent. Big Herc 916.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in.
To pick up a limited edition GTA poster signed by me for $10, or with your purchase of a Wig Splitter Porsche t-shirt, I'll throw in a free poster signed.
Smelly ball sack and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said, wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.